Don't know, like, what industry are you in right now? What are you doing exactly?
So I have a few different businesses. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I primarily made a majority of my net worth in e-commerce. Got started in 2015, and secondary, a lot of real estate.
What has been the most amount of money that you ever made in a single year?
So gross, the most amount of money I've made in a single year is about 11.2 million. Most I've made in a day is $1 million. Here's the crazy thing. It's easier to make a lot of money in a short period of time than it is to make a little bit of money over a long period of time. I remember working and making $16,000 a year, $20,000 a year, then $100,000 a year, then my first $1 million year. You worked longer, you worked harder, and when you work smarter and you come up with different promotions, different launches, different joint ventures, different product launches, utilizing different marketing strategies, you can have a higher velocity to profit. So, of course, you can't sustain $1 million a day. However, when coming up around special holidays, special promotions, and launches, you could definitely crush it with the right marketing.
You sold tens of millions of dollars on the internet.
Yeah.
What's been your secret to sales, selling in a competitive industry in e-commerce?
And this is a super good question. Actually, this is one of my favorite questions. So I use an analogy or an acronym that stands for WWAD, and that stands for what would Apple do? So the mistake that a lot of people make is they try to reinvent the wheel. Literally, all I did to bootstrap my success is mimic what already works, right? Literally recreate what is already working. So I study Apple, huge, they're $1 trillion company. And how is Apple phones 1,000 when Androids are 200? How are Apple laptops 5,000 when Dells and Acers are 200 or 300? And how are they worth significantly more, right? There's a misconception that you can't charge a lot and grow, right? So price is only an issue when value is absent. So my key, the secret sauce, is to outvalue the competition. And the easiest way that you can do this in e-commerce, physical products, or in any niche category or business model is to look at consumer feedback. So what I like to do is take an Excel spreadsheet. I category 1-star to 3-star reviews and 4- and 5-star reviews. 1 to 3 is bad, 4 to 5 is good. We keep what they like, and on a 1 to 3, we obsess over improving. What don't they like? What are they complaining about? What features do they wish they had? And if you can listen to those questions, you can listen to those issues, and you can solve those problems, then you can crush it. Naveen James, I had the pleasure of listening to Naveen James speak. He's a multi-billionaire. And when asked, Naveen James, how can one become a billionaire? He said, answer 1 billion questions. But here's the thing, you don't have to answer 1 billion individual questions. You can answer one question that 1 billion people have.
How have you been able to scale from 7 to 8 figures?
Yeah, so I was able to scale from 7 to 8 figures to focus on mitigating and delegating MWA activities, which are minimum wage activities. When I started, and too many entrepreneurs, they like to wear all the hats in their business and do everything. So what I think that I did, one of the things that I did right was identify what are those tasks that I can delegate, those MWA or minimum wage activities that I can delegate so I can focus on high income earning assets or high income earning activities. And that's what I was able to do. So identify what really moved the needle, what catapult the business in that 80-20 rule, kind of like Gary Keller's book, The One Thing. And I focused on that, and I literally dived deep on that thing. Too many people try too many different things expecting to move the needle, when all you have to do is test a bunch of things, identify that one thing, and then exhaust that thing.
Man, that was an awesome experience getting to film with Josh. He provided so much value on really what allowed him to go from 7 to 8 figures as an entrepreneur, gave some great game, but now we are back in downtown Austin to ask some entrepreneurs and some multimillionaires how they became successful and the secret to creating wealth in any industry. All right, you guys, we are in the tech district out in Austin, Texas. My man pulled up in the AMG, the Mercedes. We're gonna go ask him what he does for a living, how he was able to afford this car out in Austin, Texas. Excuse me, man, quick question for you. Is this your AMG?
It is.
What do you do for a living, man?
So I'm an entrepreneur. I have a company called Make Group, and we're in a couple different industries, primarily the residential and commercial solar space. And so we're headquartered here in Austin, but we do business in 15 states.
Yeah, and how much money is your company gonna make this year?
So we're gonna revenue around 30 million. We've expanded and grown a ton of different sales channels, and so we're looking to grow to 100 million in the next 2 to 3 years.
Amazing, man. How long have you been an entrepreneur for?
So about 5 years. I started flipping sneakers, selling stuff online, selling things on eBay, to ultimately just saving up, bootstrapping everything, and starting this company from scratch just for myself, to adding 1, 2, 3, 4, and then scaling, all over the country.
We go all over the country asking business owners advice to young entrepreneurs. Could we ask you a few questions for the channel?
Sure, I'm down.
How old were you when you became a millionaire?
24. I helped with crypto because when I first got my first sales job, I first started selling on DirecTV and Walmart. I started selling stuff online. I did anything I could to make money. I would just buy anywhere between $500 to $1,000 a week of Bitcoin, Ethereum, and other really good stocks and stuff like that. So a combination of that on top of being really successful in sales and then becoming an entrepreneur helped me reach that target.
What's been the best financial advice that you've ever received?
Warren Buffett says this, number 1 rule of money is don't lose it. If you have a 50% loss, it takes 100% gain to get that money back. It's just like the turtle and the hare, right? If you can get a 10, 15, 20% return year over year for 20 years, you're gonna be richer than anybody. Anyone can have a great couple years. It's hard to do it for decades. And so the thing I've tried to transition and really work towards is let's just be basic, let's be boring, and stack money, take my main source of income and put it into something that can compound and grow over the next 10, 20, 30 years.
You became a millionaire at 24 years old. In 60 seconds, what's the blueprint to becoming a millionaire in today's world?
First, focus on yourself. Invest and learn and create yourself into a person that's capable of receiving $1 million and being consistent at it. What knowledge, what mindset, what information do you need to know? 2, pick something that's boring that you can be amazing at. It's interesting, if we live in Austin and you go to Lake Travis and you talk to all these people that have these multi-million-dollar mansions, you think they invented something interesting, and they have a plumbing company, a roofing company, a flooring company, some of those basic things ever, but they're masters at it. So master a craft and then scale it. And that's when you can take that same money that you're making from what you've mastered and then invest it into assets that appreciate and pay you. Rinse and repeat.
Man, shout out to Grant Mint. Not only is he an 8-figure entrepreneur, but he just drops so much value for all the entrepreneurs out there. One thing I want to note about Grant and all these successful entrepreneurs is they're always willing to provide value and help people out. For all you guys out there, you don't know where to look for advice to help you out in your career or your business, just go and ask for it. The most successful people are always willing to help out, so go ask for help and don't be afraid. What industry did you decide to pursue a career in?
Commercial real estate. I'm an attorney by trade, and so I figured, everything is kind of within the law. And then as quick as I could, I got into the business that I knew since I was a little kid I was going to be in.
How many assets under management are you currently have under your company right now?
Hundreds of millions. We have over 1 million square feet under construction at this exact moment. 600,000 feet next to Tesla. Fully developed everything. I don't know, probably 2.5 billion when it's done over the next 4 years. And we're just getting started, man. I mean, this is just the very, very, very beginning. Like, I just feel like they just let me, gave me a seat at the table, and I'm not fucking leaving.
How can someone make their money work for them in today's world?
Index funds. Go find an index fund that spreads along the equity markets and automate money and put it aside. And I know you've seen a lot of just financial gurus and Instagram influencers and these people say this, but it's really true. The market grows on average between 8 to 10% a year compounded. Okay, so if we're conservative and take it down to 8%, even putting aside hundreds of dollars a month, thousands, but automating where it just goes and sits in that account, you start doing that in your 20s, in your 60s, it's millions. And time is real enemy. The longer the time period, it starts to hit a J curve of growth. So in these early years, no matter who you are, put aside $50, put aside $100, put aside $1,000, 20,000, whatever the number that fits your budget, automate it, fix it, index accounts, and fucking forget about it.
I love it. Obviously, like a massive component of business and success in real estate is sales. What's been your secret to sales?
Personal relationships and actually giving a shit about the people that you deal with, like whether broker, investors, bankers, like actually building deep relationships. Because as much as you think that people, your clients and our business certainly are focused on making a lot of money, the underlying fear that they have is that they're going to lose their money or it's some sham or some whatever. So showing them that you have great risk controls, that you do care, that your money's invested, that you're, have a vested interest, your interests are aligned, and not being in the fucking fee business. Like, we're not in the fee business, we're in the performance business. There's a big difference. People that are just here, they want to make a fee, they're rewarded for capital raising. I'm not rewarded for capital raising. I go make money, and when we make money, we take a piece of it also. And when they understand that alignment is there and you have a vested interest, magic happens.
Man, that was a super dope experience to go out and meet Ari. Not only is he a 9-figure entrepreneur, but he's managing billions of dollars worth of real estate throughout the entire city. Gave some great advice to all the entrepreneurs out there. Let's keep it rolling and go get this next one. All right, you guys, we got a very special surprise. We're about to go interview the founder of one of the largest tech startups in all of Texas, Renji Bajoy, the founder of Immerse VR. He's about to take his company public, so we're going to ask him how he was able to raise tens of millions of dollars for his business and his secret to scaling in the competitive tech industry in Austin, Texas. What industry did you decide to pursue a career in?
AR, VR, spatial computing.
So technology.
Technology, software, and now hardware.
How long have you been a business owner for?
About 6 years.
How much money has your business raised over the last 6 years?
Yeah, so including some of the stuff that we're now closing this fall, about $87 million.
$87 million.
Yeah.
That is incredible. And what's the name of your business?
It's called Immersed.
What made you decide to start a business in this industry in particular?
Because all the tech giants like Meta, Microsoft, Google, Apple, they're all pouring dozens of billions of dollars into it. This will allow us to sort of follow that wave, but do it better. And at the end of the day, I don't want to just sell to like a Facebook or a Google. I'd rather build the next one.
And how much money would you say your business is going to generate this year?
Well, what I would say is our business should be valued at about $1 billion in May. So that's what it's gonna be crazy, yeah. But then again, it's a tech company, right? So tech companies have higher multiples than other companies.
90% of businesses and startups, they don't make it past 5 years, but let alone you've made it past 6 and you've created a nearly 9-figure business. So what would you say is the blueprint to creating a successful startup in today's world?
You need to build a product that people actually want and actually love, and you need to build the team that then builds that product, and then you need to scale it from there to find the funding to then fund all of that. So those, I believe, are the 3 key pieces. Founders oftentimes are hopping to the next money-making thing that everyone else is already doing. No offense, but a lot of people just hop into real estate because they think it's easy, but how are they differentiated from the next real estate person, right? For me, at the end of the day, I'm good at coding, so I'm gonna do that. If you're able to find a product that people want to pay money for, a team that can help you build it, and that's a craft in and of itself, and then find the funds to then support that team to keep growing it, or you build a product that pays you for you to have that team to then grow that, you're just gonna be able to build the best product in the world, man.
Renji, you crushed that, man. That was amazing, bro. Man, this Austin video has been absolutely insane, but I want you to comment down below who's been your favorite interview and why. We love connecting with you guys. I want to know all what you guys think about this video. What industry did you ultimately pursue a career in?
So that's a funny story. I ended up in the high-tech field, but if you had asked me in college, I would have said that was the last place I wanted to be. I had taken a year of computer science, hated it. I had been around salespeople that were in like the used car world, and I hated sales, so the last thing I thought I'd ever want to do was be computers or sales, and my first job was at IBM in computer sales.
So are you a business owner?
Yeah, so I co-founded a couple of companies here in Austin. One was called Waveset. We founded that in 2000 after working for big tech for a long time. Waveset, and then we sold that about 5 years later to a now defunct company called Sun, part of Oracle. And then we started another company here, SailPoint, in 2005. That company's now coming up on 18 years old. It's grown to be a very large company, a little over $500 million in revenues, 2,500 people around the world. So I've been on a crazy journey of being an entrepreneur.
How much did you sell your first company for?
The first one was all of 150 million back in the day in 2005. And then this company just did a go private round with a big private equity firm for $7 billion.
If you were to go back to when you started that first business, what's the best advice that you would tell yourself?
I think I kind of knew it because I didn't start that first business until I was 38, so thankfully I'd learned a few things. But I think what I often tell younger entrepreneurs is two things. Kind of be self-aware, know what you're good at. None of us are good at everything. So I think a likelihood of success in the world of any entrepreneurial venture, but particularly tech, is surround yourself with great people who are good at what you're not good at, because a team strength will always beat any individual.
What was your secret to really scaling your business to the point it is today?
I think we sometimes glorify some of the most famous business leaders / entrepreneurs as if it was just them. In this generation, it's folks like Elon, and in my generation 30 years ago, it was Bill Gates or Steve Jobs. And it takes very little research to figure out those guys did not build businesses by themselves. They always had a core team, sometimes one, sometimes multiple key team members that actually enabled them to generate that kind of success. So I think there's like this mythology of the brilliant entrepreneur who's all by themselves. It's just not true. If you're gonna win big, I think in the marketplace, any kind of business, you're gonna have a great team around you.
Thank you so much for your time,
Yeah,
sir. I really appreciate
real
it.
pleasure.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in and watching this video. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe. We've got some amazing content coming soon. And click right here to watch our full video going all over Dallas asking millionaires how they became wealthy.